What's going on, guys? It's Jar here, back with another video. And as you can see on Fantasy Flight Games homepage here, it's a Thursday morning. We've got a new article, so let's go ahead, let's not beat around the bush, and let's get into it. So sadly for this one was kind of unintentionally leaked through the GenCon scheduling, like a week or two back when I was at the con. It was kind of buzzing around the con a little bit when they went up. They're like, guys, the GenCon schedule for FFG and Marvel Champions went up, and they kind of sort of announced a Loki scenario pack. So I did know this one was coming. Regardless, I'm really excited for it. This art looks really fun. So we have Trickster Takeover announcing a new scenario for the Marvel Champions card game. Let's click into it and let's check this out. So here we have the art here. We have the Enchantress and we have Loki. This is completely new art. It looks pretty cool. I think this is completely new art up there too. So let's read through this. Villains come in all shapes and sizes. Some are large and brutish, others surround themselves with like-minded minions. Some of the most dangerous villains, however, are the ones who use cunning and trickery to manipulate the world to their whim. So what happens when two of those trickster villains team up? So maybe I'm getting like Mojo Scenario vibes. We have at least two villains in this. Fantasy Flight Games is thrilled to announce the Trickster Takeover Scenario Pack for Marvel Champions, the card game. The 78 card scenario pack, guest designed by former Marvel Champions designer Michael Boggs. Oh shoot, that's crazy. Slinks into the scene with two brand new scenarios with the Enchantress and Loki, two conniving villains with a ton of tricks up their sleeves. In addition to being able to play these scenarios in the traditional standalone way, the Loki God of Lies scenarios can be played in a brand new epic multiplayer mode, a Marvel Champions first. Also included is a special modular encounter set featuring enthralled minions which you can recruit to your side. Can you survive this brutal battle of wits? Okay, so we're looking at a couple of the cards here. I'm sure it'll go into greater detail. So we have Spell Blast here. One revealed something about the Defiant trait, so maybe that's something on minions. We have Cinder here, was a unique minion. I really like the card bordering. The green looks really good on the Enchantress cards, I'm not going to lie. Joey Vasquez does the art on both of these. I love his art. He does good stuff, so that's not surprising by any means. We have Cinder here, one scheme for attack, probably has a nasty effect. We have Losing Focus or something like that. It's some sort of it's not an obligation. It's like an attachment for a minion. It looks like +3 hit points per player. So we have the Enchantress Stage 1 villain card. So 15 health, not super high by any means, but obviously it'll go up in extra mode. 2 scheme, 1 attack. After Enchantress attacks, you place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. Is this enchantment card going to be some sort of like buff you get that you choose at the beginning of the scenario or something? And maybe when it does a positive effect, so if it has too many counters, it like flips into something negative. Who knows? Then we have Loki, God of Lies. This is a 1. I don't think it's like a Roman numeral. I think this just is literally the number 1, which is interesting. He has a blank scene, blank attack. If Loki, God of Lies, has 10 per player or fewer remaining hit points, flip this card over. So he comes in with 20 per player, so he comes in 80 and 4 player. If you hit him 40 damage, he'll flip. Okay, let's read Enchantress first, because I'm assuming this is the first one in the box. To kick off the shenanigans, the heroes must face off against Enchantress, the charming and manipulative as Guardian Mystic. So this is her hero card, so we already read through that. That's pretty interesting. Let's see what the enchantments are. Right off the bat, Enchantress hits heroes with her Hypnotic Gaze. It's a permanent enchantment. Your identity gains the Defiant trait. Okay, so it's not only for minions. If there are 5 or more charm counters here, remove each charm counter and flip these cards. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So if she hits you 5 times, she does something. Twin scenario, there are 5 different copies of this card, each with a different enchantment on the opposite side, and you don't know which one you're dealing with until it's flipped. Okay, so it's random. It's not positive at all. While still on the Hypnotic Gaze side, your identity gains a Defiant trait representing how much your hero is resisting Enchantress's temptations. After your Hypnotic Gaze gains enough charm counters, such as through Enchantress's attacks or through cards like her crown, a crown of the Enchantress, attached to Enchantress. In extra mode, Enchantress gains Stalwart. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Oh, okay, this is still just an encounter card, though. I thought it was like a permanent thing. After Enchantress schemes against you, place 1 charm counter in the enchantment card in your play area. Hero action, each player exhausts their identity and takes 1 damage. Discard the card. Each player is crazy. Wow, that is really bad in multiplayer. We're gonna need Sunfire or something for sure for this. That is such a bad effect. Or an enthralled lackey. Let's see, what is this one? Okay, this is a funny art. It's just kind of like a normal construction worker. Quick strike, enthrall, 2 scheme 1 attack. After this immune attacks, you place one charm counter on the enchantment card in your player. Boost, choose either place one charm counter on the enchantment card in your player or confuse your identity. I think most people will probably take the confuse. The card flips to its unique trance side to give you the enthralled trait. Each trance side enchantment hits you with an immediate effect when it's revealed and also possesses a force action. This is a special type of action that you have to do before you end the player phase, though you can choose the moment you do so. For example, okay, this is a new thing, forced action. So we have force interrupt, force response, force action. This is something you have to do. Permanent, your identity gains the enthralled trait. When revealed, you are confused, otherwise take 2 damage. Forced action, exhaust this card, draw a card, then play that card, paying its cost. If you cannot, take 1 damage. That is really interesting. Obviously, it doesn't matter for characters like Magic, people who can see the top of their deck, maybe Star-Lord who can stack the top of his deck. That is really interesting. So the Trance of Greed is like, oh, okay, you take a draw, but you have to play whatever you draw. That is really interesting. Or else take damage if you can't. You have to perform this action before the player phase ends, but you could wait to perform it until your hand is empty, so you don't need to waste any resources on the drawn card, assuming you have a hit point to spare. Or you could draw a card early in your turn, hoping it's something you want to play right away. Similarly, the Trance of Wrath. This one says, when revealed, search the top 5 cards in the encounter deck for a card and reveal it. That is so nasty. Force action, exhaust this card, take 1 direct damage, deal 2 damage to a minion. So the idea is you want to get a minion out with your little search top 5, and then you can at least deal 2 damage to it. Has a force action that deals a point of interact damage while letting you deal 2 damage to a minion. With careful planning, you can choose when to trigger these actions to get the most out of their effects while mitigating the cost. In addition to the force action on the trance side, the trait you gain from your enchantment can also determine how some Enchantress's other cards affects you. Cards like Do My Bidding. When revealed, if your identity has a defiant trait, choose one. If your identity has the enthralled trait, do both in any order. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveal it. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a side skin and reveal it. This is so nasty. This is just Shadow of the Past. Probably has multiple copies of that. If you're enthralled, Spell Blast. If your identity has a defiant trait, choose one. If your identity has the enthralled trait, do both. Enchantress schemes with +1 scheme and expert. Enchantress attacks with +1 attack. That is gross. And then, or the spellbound side scheme get even nastier. Each player whose identity has a defiant trait places 1 charm counter on their enchantment card. Each player whose identity has the enthralled trait chooses discards a card they control, but it only comes in with 4, so it's not terrible. Their identity has the enthralled trait, while minions like the enthralled brute or cinder become tougher to face. Guard. While this minion is engaged with the player's identity has the enthralled trait, this minion gets +3 hit points and has that same boost effect. And then what was that? 4? Was that 4 attack? Oh no, that was 2 attack, 4 health. Cinder, 1 attack, 4. Sorry, 1 scheme, 4 attack, and then 6 health. Cinder's attack deal indirect damage. Okay, that's a fire theme. If your identity has the defiant trait, Cinder activates against you. If your identity has the enthralled trait, gives Cinder a tough. Honestly, I feel like the defiant trait is worse on this one. I mean, he gets a tough, a big enthralled, whatever, a tough's whatever. The fact that he activates as soon as he comes out, if you're on the other side, is kind of nasty. Top it all off, if you have an enthralled trait, then every charm counter that would end up as threat, that you would gain would end up as threat on the main scheme. Trickster takeover instead. Prime real estate, 6 per player threat. Force interrupt. When a charm counter will be placed on an enchantment card in your player, if your identity has the enthralled trait, place it here instead. I really like the theming of this scenario. It's kind of interesting. With their tricks and her charms, Enchantress is not to be trifled with. So obviously you want to stop her activations. You want to like stun her up a little bit because it's you don't want any of her activations, it seems like. Before we preview this second scenario, it's only fitting we talk about the special encounter set that comes with this pack, Trickster Magic. So it's a bunch of enemies that are commanded. Oh, that Enchantress is commanding. Enthralled. Trickster Magic. This counter set represents the Trickster villain's powers at work, including all the trouble they're able to stir up as distractions for the heroes. These range from tricky side schemes like the Trickster Tango. Okay, this art is so fun. 4 threat per player has a boost effect if the activation is attack. Okay, it's a scenario that gives the villain overkill. The villain gains Stalwart with 2. Honestly, this is like pretty nasty. Like you want to clear it, and it's a side scheme that gives them Stalwart. I think it's funny that they explain what Stalwart was, but yeah, it's pretty nasty. 2 to complicating the battle with the love triangle. Okay, what is going on? Attach to an ally you control, otherwise this card gains surge. Attached ally cannot attack the villain or defend against the villain's attacks. Alter ego action, exhaust attached ally and spend a... This is crazy. So they can't attack the villain or defend their attacks, but at least they can thwart. I mean, this is kind of one of those cards that... There's a lot of cards that just straight up take your allies and turn them into minions. At least you could still kind of use the ally here. This is an insane card theme-wise and stuff. However, the highlight of the set is the 4 enthralled minions. We have Absorbing Man. Holy crap. 2 scheme, 1 attack, 7 health. Guard victory 1. While Absorbing Man is engaged with you, he gets plus X attack, where X is the cost of the highest cost card you control. When defeated, the player who defeated this minion puts the set aside Absorbing Man ally into play under their control. Oh, okay. Titania, her attacks gain overkill. Player who defeated this minion puts the set aside Titania ally under their control. Whirlwind, quick strike, victory 1. To Whirlwind attacks you. Take 1 indirect damage for each side scheme in play, and then ZZX. Retaliate 1 victory. Discard the top 4 cards of your deck. For each printed lightning bolt resource, take 1 indirect. So he's the only one that has a 1 revealed ability, and you can put these allies into play. So these minions is a fairly formidable foe, but they're not exactly working with the Enchantress of their own free will. If you manage to knock them back to their sentence, these 4 will actually team up with you to help take down the villains who are controlling their minds. For example, if you defeat the Absorbing Man minion, then you immediately get to put the Absorbing Man ally into play under your control. Whoa. Linked to Absorbing Man victory 0 does not count against your ally limit. Carl Creel. So we actually have villains as allies here. This is pretty interesting. Obviously, we've had examples of this in the past, but I mean, this is like an ally card. Of course, it's linked, right? When Absorbing Man attacks or thwarts, exhaust, and upgrade or support you control, Absorbing Man gets plus X to that power for this use, plus where X is that card's printed cost. So you can have him swing for 4 or thwart for 4, and he has 3 health. I mean, he takes 2 consequential, but that's not bad. Same goes for the other 3, and any of them can potentially swing the flow of battle. After all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's not... I wonder why on these articles sometimes they have random ones like this that aren't part of the little like carousel that you can click through. But anyways, here we go into the Loki scenario. Oh boy, here it is, isn't it? All of the Lokis. It's kind of unfortunate this is all the same art though. I mean, at least the other Loki scenario had like different arts. I don't know if I'm thinking too crazy about this. Maybe they just didn't want to make... Okay, it looks like they have 2 sides as well, so it would have been like 8-10 arts. So okay, I can give them a little bit of pass on that one. After dealing with Enchantress, our heroes have a little time to breathe before being thrust into conflict with Loki. As mentioned earlier in this article, the scenario marks the introduction of a brand new epic multiplayer mode for the game. Loki's avatars are spread across the globe, and the heroes must work together like never before to shatter the mischievous god's illusions and bring him down once and for all. To kick things off, we have the primary villain card of Loki, the god of lies. So yeah, we saw this. This is the true Loki, and the one that everyone currently participating in the scenario in single group or epic multiplayer mode needs to defeat in order to win. Sounds simple enough, right? Except nothing is as it seems with this masterful trickster, and he has no qualms of breaking the game's normal rules. No matter what you do, you cannot directly attack or damage Loki, god of lies, at any time. This is thanks to Worlds Collide. 2 per player, Worlds Collide. Each per player icon on Loki, God of Lies counts a total number of players in all game areas. Holy crap, this is reminding me of the con and their massive multiplayer modes. Each per player icon on this scheme counts a total number of groups in all pods. Cards cannot affect this scheme or Loki, God of Lies unless they refer to those cards by title. If the stage is completed, the players lose the game. Unique main scheme shared by all player groups, which not only prevent anyone from damaging Loki, but also prevents any threat from being removed from itself. The only way you're going to be able to damage Loki is to shatter the illusion, and to do that, you're going to need to fight off his various avatars. So he has 4 avatars. He has Loki the Rascal, Loki the Miscreant, Loki the Knave, and Loki the Wretch. His 4 avatars. Okay, let's read through these. This is still a lot left in this article, so let's read through this and try and figure this out. So we have Loki the Rascal here. Avatar of Loki. So this is A1. Force response. After you resolve the boost card, I guess I can read it here. After you resolve the boost card during Loki the Rascal's activation, if that card is a treachery, either deal it to yourself as a face-out encounter card or spend 1 resource of any type. Okay, so he's going to be taxing you a bit. Force interrupt. On this villain would be defeated, place 5 per player shatter counters on here. and flip this card instead. When revealed, shatter the illusion. See the set aside shatter the illusion card, choose a group in your pod, then place synergy counters on their unified front environment equal to the number of players in their group. Okay, so he'll have like 90 health. You get to help out another group. What you talking about? Oh man, early in the morning for me. Apologize for the yawning. We got Loki the Miscreant next. So he's got 1 scheme, 2 attack. So this one was pretty nasty. He's going to be taxing everyone's hand. We have Avatar of Loki here. After you resolve a treachery, place 1 threat on the main scheme and 1 threat on a side scheme. When this villain would be defeated, place 5 or player shatter counters and flip this card instead. That one's not too bad. I mean, he will be getting some extra threat. Loki the Knave. After you resolve a treachery, deal 1 damage to your identity and 1 damage to an ally you control. That one is gross too. And these are some nasty ones. And then we have Loki the Wretch. When Loki the Wretch activates against you, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If a treachery was discarded this way, he gets +1 scheme and +1 attack for this act. Okay, this one is not. He's going to be milling the encounter deck a lot, but this one is not that bad. This one can be chumped and whatever. I think all these other ones are probably worse than the Wretch. Each player group has to deal with their own batch of these 4 avatars facing off against a randomly chosen avatar of Loki that gets swapped out for another every time they manage to defeat one. As you fight your avatar of Loki, you'll build up shatter counters on it throughout, defeating side schemes like lofty goals. This is really fun art. I like this. Oh, it's like the Bifrost. Place 2 shatter counters on the avatar of Loki villain. Okay, it only comes in with 5 threat. Our minions like Grendel. This is a unique minion. Brute Dark Out, but he's not elite. Garden Grendel attacks, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each treachery discard this way, he gets +1 attack. When defeated, place 3 shattered counters on the avatar of Loki villain. Or Malekith. Okay, another unique minion. No elite though. Retaliate 1 after he attacks. Discard the top card of the encounter deck. If that card is a treachery, deal it to yourself. Okay, so obviously you want to defeat these guys before they attack. Then you place 2 shatter counters. Each time your group manages to defeat an avatar of Loki, it will gain a surge of shatter counters and flip to its fading figment side, triggering the shatter the illusion effect. Choose a group in your pod, place synergy counters. Shatter the illusion effect that lets you damage Loki God of Lies based on the number of shattered counters you built up. Your group then gets a new random avatar of Loki to deal with, and the fight continues. Okay, so this gets revealed. Shatter the illusion. When a fading figment is revealed, follow these steps to shatter Loki's illusion. Remove each shatter counter from fading figment, then deal damage to Loki God of Lies equal to the number of shatter counters removed this way. Swap the fading figment in play with a random set aside villain. Avatar of Loki side face up. Then set the hit point tile of the avatar of Loki villain to its printed hit point. Deal each player face on encounter card. So we all have this giant health pool, it seems like, in massive multiplayer mode to actually knock out this Loki is what it looks like. So 5 per player shatter counters, and Loki has 80 health, so you do have to defeat all 4 of them. But if you're in massive multiplayer mode, I guess every group has to defeat all 4 of them. That's interesting. Okay. Let me see if I can understand this. So you know how to damage a real Loki with the odds are still stacked against you after all Loki's plan is affecting the entire globe, and with him raising mischief and mayhem. Force interrupt. When this scheme would be completed, remove all threat from here and place 1 threat on Worlds Collide instead. When an identity would be defeated, change the identity form to alter ego, set its hit point dial to 1, and place 1 threat on Worlds Collide. So you can't lose in this scenario. That's interesting. In every player group, just 1 step up from the heroes, swing momentum back into the Trickster God's favor. Fortunately, defeating an avatar of Loki also adds some synergy counters onto 1 of 4 special synergy environments. These cards represent the heroes from around the world working together to take Loki down, and they provide some pretty powerful benefits. For example, Domineering Force, permanent synergy, max 1 per player synergy counter here. When a friendly character attacks, remove 1 synergy counter from here that attacks deal 4 additional damage. Okay. Can use to boost the attack of a friendly character by 4 while United Front. Max 1 per player synergy counter here. Removes 1 synergy counter for your generate 2 wild resources. This is some pretty cool art on these cards. This serves as a fantastic resource generator for the entire team. Each player group has their own copies of these environments to work with, and when you're playing epic multiplayer mode, you can choose any group in your pod to grant synergy counters to when you defeat your avatar of Loki. Of course, it's not like Loki himself is going to just sit there and wait for you to win. When he drops to half health, Loki God of Lies flips to his second stage. Okay, so you can see this 2, so it was a 1. When revealed, each group in standard mode attaches their set aside intense focus to their avatar of Loki villain in their game area. Each group in extra mode flips their intense focus attachments to its total focus side. Okay. triggering his intense focus. Permanent avatar of Loki gains +2 per player hit point and steady when revealed in standard mode. Discard the top 2 per player cards of the encounter deck and the top 5 cards of each player's deck. Powering up his avatars for the rest of the game. If your group is playing in expert mode, then you started with the intense focus in play, which at this point means you flip it over to total focus. +3 per player hit points and gain steady. It's got the top 2 per player cards in the encounter deck and the top 5 cards of each player deck. Find Dark Scepter and reveal it. If Dark Scepter did not enter play this way, give Avatar of Loki a tough status card. Fishing out Dark Scepter. Attached to the Avatar of Loki villain, the Avatar of Loki villain gains Stalwart. Treacheries cannot be cancelled. Hero responds after you resolve a treachery. Spend 2 resources of the same type and you can remove it. Oh man, treacheries cannot be cancelled is crazy. Wow, okay. Both intense focus and total focus represent Loki concentrating his power on fighting the heroes, hoping to snatch away victory through devious means. Even so, with a bit of synergy and a whole lot of teamwork, you and your fellow heroes can prevail against the God of Lies. The Trickster Tango with manipulative tactics and tricks up their sleeves. Enchantress and Loki are bound to make a splash in Marvel Champions, the card game. Do you have what it takes to stop the Dastardly duo? Look forward to taking on this tangle of tricksters when the Trickster Takeover Scenario arrives this August, man. Peter was going crazy with the alliteration. You can pre-order it today. Wow. This looked really cool. One thing I will say, I'm really glad that scenario packs are back for sure. It's just really cool. I don't think they were gone by any means, but from what I understand, it has been a little bit since the last one. So I'm just really glad to see them again, and I am looking forward to this for sure. It looks like a lot of fun. I like this modular set where you can actually defeat these minions, they become your allies. I like the Enchantress Scenario seemed fun, and this Loki God of Lies, especially in like this epic multiplayer scenario, looks crazy. So yeah, it just looks like a really good time, and I'm really am looking forward to it. But what are you guys thinking about this? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I just wanted to get this video quickly out there, just let the people know what I thought about it, get my reaction, and really basic analysis. I will say Loki Scenario does look pretty long, but it does look fun, and I guess that's just going to be something that Loki Scenarios will always have. Enchantress seems like it was put in this box as like a, you know, get it down to the table, one and done type of scenario. So it's like something for everyone. For people who really love multiplayer, you got the Loki Scenario. For people who like that one-shot kind of solo experience of Marvel Champions, Enchantress is probably more your speed, even though I'm sure Loki will also be a ton of fun in normal multiplayer tables or solo as well. Let me know what you guys think down below. Were you looking forward to this? Did you know about it before it got revealed because of either, I don't know if the leaks have been floating around or the GenCon leaks? Let me know, but obviously don't leak anything else for me because I haven't been following them. Leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.